Well, I just love it when local businesses show their support for people in need right here in our community. Well, recently, Big O Tires gave away a car to a struggling individual in need of safe transportation. Well, I had a chat with owner Matt about why they decided to do this act of kindness. Take a look. Well, Matt with Big O Tires joins us this morning. Matt, always a pleasure to see you. How are you today?
We're doing great. Thanks so much for having us on today.
Of course. Well, I wanted to talk to you because you recently did something really cool for somebody in need in the community. You fixed up their car ultimately so they could have a safe ride to work and for their daily activities. Why did you guys decide to do that?
Well, Big O Tires is an interesting group because we're all franchise owners, so we're in the community. And so, we're exposed to everything that's been going on during this pandemic, and we've seen firsthand some of the trials and tribulations that people have gone through. So we were really excited to be able to do this and help someone out.
And I'm sure it made such a big difference. Now, you went through a lot of nominations, heard so many incredible stories of individuals here in Denver that really needed that help. How did it all come together to choosing one person?
Well, it was really an overwhelming process. We received 380 nominations, and BJ Eichhoff, who has worked with Big O Tires for years, spearheaded the process, and she put together a team of people to go through and create a selection committee and go through the selection process. And we were able to narrow it down to some finalists, and then we were able to narrow it down to the winner.
So what do you think what it was about that one winner that just touched your heart and said, okay, this is the one that needs our help?
Well, she's an amazing person who has had a tough couple of years during this pandemic, and what really touched us was her her ability to say that she needed help and to ask for it and be so sincere.
Right. Okay. So out of all those nominations that you got, somewhere along the line, you guys said, wait, we still want to help all these people. What made you want to do that?
Well, again, we were overwhelmed by all the nominations. And so when we really looked at it, we said, okay, we had a large group of finalists. And we said, as a group of store owners, we really wanted to try to do something for each of them. And so we're still in the middle of that process, but we are trying to find something that we can do for each of the finalists just to help them on their way to getting their life back on track.
Well, I think that's very special, Matt. Honestly, like to fix somebody's cars up just out of the goodness of your heart says a lot about Big O Tires. And with that said, I know that you guys do a lot to help us as well. Be safe on the roads. And look, we're heading into that colder weather. What do we need to know to make sure that our vehicles are in check and are safe out on the roads?
Well, that's a great point. It is going to get cold, I promise, even though it's so hot these days, but it will get cold again and the snow will start flying. And it's important to be prepared for that. Tires are obviously the first place to start. And we're prepared to, take a look at everyone's tires. Anybody who has concerns about it, let us evaluate them with you. One of the things that really stands out this year is the supply chain issue. We're seeing a lot of inventory level issues across the country. And so, I would urge people to get in sooner than later so that we can hopefully get our hands on the tires that you want. But also, let's take a good look at that car and make sure it's prepared for winter. Make sure that antifreeze is good and that the wipers are in good shape. And always, you should make sure that you have that, that safety kit in the car in case you do have an issue and get stranded.
Yeah, that is a really good point up to bring. Now, you said something that the automotive industry is a little bit slow right now with supply. How long has that been happening, Matt? And I want you to just touch on that a little bit more because a lot of us don't find out until we need something and we make that phone call.
Well, and it's happening in every industry, right? It's not just us, it's everyone across the board. We've been seeing this issue on and off for the full 18 months that the pandemic's been going on. Production was shut down globally for tire production, and that it takes a long time for that to recoup, as well as obviously the shipment issues that the news has been reporting on, the shipping issues across the country and across the world. So yeah, we're feeling the effects of all of those things as well. And it's pretty significant right now. And we're coming into, our region is about to have the biggest, time of year for tire purchases. And so it's important that everybody's aware and hopefully get ahead of the curve.
Exactly. And we are heading into that season where it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and that means a lot of travel. Is now a good time to get that vehicle checked and make sure everything is working?
Absolutely. Let's do it while it's warm and before it's overly busy. And let's be prepared. Everybody wants to travel for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and a lot of that's happening by car, and that's been going on since the pandemic started. A lot of car travel is happening. So let's make sure that the car is, up to snuff and ready for those road trips.
Okay. Well, Matt, thank you so much for being with us today.
And it is a good time to make sure your car is safe. Big O Tires has several locations in Denver, and they offer curbside service, stay in your car service, and ask about their special savings. For more info, visit bigotires.com.